生息的
阿弥陀佛，
阿弥陀佛，
阿弥陀佛，阿弥陀佛！世界各地的莲花童子们，
Dharma Kumaras all around the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
我是今天这节课的
I am today's host,
莲花美平
Dharma Assistant Mei Ping from UK's Chengdu Leicang Temple. Very happy to once again over Zoom, YouTube, and Facebook meet with everyone and learn together the sacred chants of Buddhism. It's 2026, 5th of June, June 5th, 2026, and it's 7:51 p.m. now, Taiwan time. Welcome everyone once again back to Buddha School Online University's 8th course on the sacred chants of Buddhism. And today is the 13th lesson, which will be on the food offering rites, part 2, Buddhist disciples performing food offering rites in accordance with the Dharma and actual practice in the present age. And the class will be conducted in 3 languages, in original Chinese with Indonesian and English interpretation taught by Master Lian Wei. And after the class, you can go to TBSOU's YouTube channel, the channel by Buddha Foundation's Education Department, to watch a video recording of the lesson. And you can also download the lessons, class handouts from the TBSOU website. And if you've already prepared, you are also welcome to type in 666 in the chat of the Zoom chat while waiting for other students to come online.
那我们也一起迎接今晚精彩的课程，也欢迎世界各地的
And let's
同
also
们
welcome all
将您的
Dharma
署名
siblings
称
around
设
the
法
world.
为您的访稿加国
If you
家
can,
报
you
上
can rename
两
your
方面彼此
profiles,
交流与
your
认
Zoom
识。
profiles
如
to
果方
include
便的
your
话，
Dharma
也
name
欢迎
and
大家
also
打
your
开
country
您的摄
of
像
residence
头，
so that
一起
we
参
can
与
get to know each
今
other.
晚
You can
的
turn
丰
on
盛
your
共
video
修
camera.
共学的殊胜课程。那今晚课程结束之后呢，我们也一样会有释疑解惑的环节。我们将恭
And
请
at the end of the
法
lesson,
师
there will
也会
be,
上
as
师
usual,
慈
a
悲解
question
答
and
大
answer
家的
segment
疑
where
问。
we'll
如
invite
果
Master
上
Lian
周有
Wei
还未
to
解答的疑问，也
answer
会在这周
questions
为您解
from
答。
everyone. And
那
if
这
your
周您要
questions
是有
were
任何
not
的疑问，
answered
也可
in
以
the
在
last
我们的
lesson,
YouTube 和 Facebook
we will
私上，
invite her
我们将
to
恭请上
reply
师
in
为
this
您解
class.
答。那在正式开始今天的课程之前呢，让我
Before
们
we
先
formally
来一
begin
个小
tonight's
小的
class,
温故知
let's
新。
do a small
那
or quick
上周
revision of
哪
last
位上
lesson.
师带领我们
During the
学习
last
了施
lesson,
食法
Master
门
Lian
的
Wei
缘
taught
起与
us
功德。
about
那
the
不知道大
origin
家
and merits of the food
课
offering
程结
rite.
束之后有没有去看
And I
我的直
wonder
播，
if
或者大家还记
any
得
of
吗？
you
然后让我们一起来
went
回
to
顾一下。
revise
那
the
上
last
周课
lesson.
程中，上师提到施食法门最重要的
She
精
mentioned
神
that
是什
the
么？
most
如果大
important
家还记得
spirit
的
of the
话，
food offering
欢
rite
迎在聊天室把您
is,
知道的
if you know the
写
answer,
下。
please type it
就
in
是
the
上
Zoom
师
chat.
提到施食法门最重要的精神是什
You
么？
can type in what is the most important spirit of the food offering rite.
那上师提到那是42归语。对，上供诸佛，下
To
施
offer
六
to the
道。
Buddhas and Bodhisattvas
谢谢大
above,
家。
and also offer to beings in the 6 realms below.
那大家也有很认真的在上课，我也看见大家都有写上很多的不一样的答案。那在另外上周的课程，上师也提到施食法门与哪一位菩萨有很深的
What
渊
is
源呢？
the
那知道
Bodhisattva with a
的
very
学
deep
员也欢
connection
迎
with the
您
food
在
offering
聊
rite?
天室
If
写
you know the
下
answer, you can also type it in the
施
Zoom chat.
食法门与哪一位菩萨有很深的渊源？那大家都知道，那就是我们大慈大悲的观世音菩萨。施食法门所展现的，正是观世音菩萨利益众
And
生
it's
的
about
大悲
Avalokiteshvara
精神。
Bodhisattvas
那还记
of
得
the
上
great
周
of great
上师
compassion.
分享
During the
师
last
门数
lesson,
十年
Master
来
Lian
始
Wei
终
also
坚持
mentioned
素
that
食修持，
Grandmaster
始
for
终的
many
开示，
years
常
or
年施
decades
食能够获得
has
五大利
persisted
益。
with
那不知
the
道
food
大家
offering
还记
rite,
得
and there are
哪一
5
项或者
benefits.
都
I
记得
wonder
吗？
if you remember
要
any
是
of
记
them
得
or
的
all
话，
of them.
大
If
家
you
可
remember,
以
you can
写
also
上
type
来，
in
就
the
是师
answer
尊说
in the Zoom
常
chat.
年施食能够获得的五
If
大利
you
益。
perform the food offering rite on a long-term basis, what are the benefits
对，
or merits?
有同门说法力。
Yes,
那上
someone
周我
has
们学习
mentioned
到的
increase in
五大
Dharma
利益
power.
是
So
善
the
利、
5
法利、命利、安利与便利。
The
其
5
实在我每
benefits
次上
are
完
舍利、
周的
法
课程
利。
之后呢，我都会去看回播，然后我也会想以前常常参加的武功晚课或者
命利、
法门
安利 and
的时
便利。
候，都知道要
Okay,
施食。
so
然后当时有时
so
候
I
会觉
will
得那只是仪轨中的一个环节。那透过理
often
论上师
revise
的讲解，
lessons
我们才更
after the
加深刻的
class.
了解到，
And
原来
after
施
Master
食
Lian
不只
Wei's
是利益
explanation,
为
we
众
realized
生，
that
更是在
the
培
food
养
offering
自己
rite is
的
not
慈悲
just
心，
benefiting
也让我们更
hungry
加理
ghosts,
解
but
为什么
also
师尊素食
increasing
的
our
原因，
bodhicitta
始终坚持施
and
食修持。
there are also other
在上
merits.
周的课
So
程中，
during
上
last
师也为我
lesson,
们详
Master
细
Lian
归
Wei
纳了师尊
also
所教示的施食
categorized
法门的殊胜功德。
Grandmaster's
透过
teachings,
如法施食，不仅能
the
够增长
merits
福报与善缘，息灾除障，化解障碍，更能法力增上，累积修行资粮，成为一切成就的重要根本。
It's a fundamental of our spiritual cultivation, and you can also actualize the bodhicitta spirit of benefiting sentient beings, not only benefiting sentient beings of the sixth round, but also our own spiritual cultivation. It is an important part or component or homework of our daily spiritual cultivation. If you have participated in the food offering rite, have you conducted your visualization correctly? What exactly is the home? 3 home water. And is food offering just about throwing or scattering food outward? When we encounter problems, what should we do? I'm sure many students have many questions. And today we will invite Master Liang Wei to continue teaching this practice. The last lesson we learned about the origin and merits of food offering practice, and today we will talk about its practice. And key points include essentials and guidelines of the food offering rite. What is the three home water? Problems and solutions pertaining to the food offering rite practice. I'm also looking forward to tonight's class. And let's quieten our hearts and let down our worries from the busy day today. Let's adjust our posture, our breathing, and with a pure, focused mind. Let's look forward to tonight's class, and it's 1 more minute before the start of the class, before it's 8 p.m. sharp. And let's look at all the other students who have come into the Zoom session. So I'll not greet everyone one by one. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And the time now is 8 p.m. sharp, so without further ado, let's welcome TBF Chairman Master Cheng to TBF Education Department and the teaching master for tonight levels and all Dharma's auspicious greetings. And with the most reverent, appreciative heart, let's welcome Master Shi Liang Wei to pay homage to our Tribute School lineage and teach the class for tonight. Okay, everyone, please put your palms together and let us pay homage wholeheartedly to our lineage root guru, His Holiness the Living Buddha Lin Sheng, True Buddhist School lineage gurus, the 3 jewels of the altar. Please form the Pama Kumara Mudra and visualize His Holiness the Living Buddha Lin Sheng above your crown, shining great light to bless and recite the Pama Kumara mantra 7 times to pray for Guru's blessing, for tonight's lesson to be auspicious and complete for disciples and to learn well.
Om Guru Lian Shen Siddhi Hom. 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 好，上师 教授师、法师、讲
Master,
师、
Senior Reverends, Reverends, Dharma instructors, Dharma assistants, and all Dharma siblings. Good evening to everyone.
刚刚美萍助教已经帮我们
Just
解释
now,
一下
DA
上
Mei
次
Ping
上
already
星期
revised
上课主要的内容了哈。
last week's
那今天
lesson,
我们要开
and
始讲的
today we will start to
总
talk
共分
about
为施食的如法施食跟怎么
the
去
food
实
offering
践。
rite. How do we actually carry it out in actual practice?
PPT 的第一页，
So let's go to the first page of the
我们知道
PowerPoint,
这个施食
and
法门哈，自古以
we
来就
know
是可
that
以
this
立
food
法。
offering
好，跑到第一页
practice,
下一页，
let's go to the first page.
可以立意，上次已经有讲过哈。
We
利
mentioned
益恶
last
鬼道还
week
有
it can
受苦
mention
众
it can benefit hungry
最主
ghosts
要
and
呢
beings
是能
suffering
够帮助我们
and
信
suffering
仰
beings.
长养
It can
智
also
慧
help
破
cultivators to increase our
心中
compassion,
清净慈悲。
to
我想跟大家
destroy
讲
our
的是
ego
表面
and
上我们一
accumulate
起
the
是
resources
帮
of
助其他
pure
的众生
pure
帮助其他
blessings
的
and
有
merits,
情，
virtues.
事实上
It
是
often seems as though
最
we are
后
helping
的
other
方法
beings,
是
but
我
actually we are
因为
benefiting our
有
own
这些
selves.
众生为我
Because
们
only
去
with
做，
these sentient beings we will
去
do
做
all
的
these
过程
things,
当中
and
就
in the
是长养
practice
我们的智
and
慧
in
跟
actual
福
practice,
事
it
实上
helps
是
us
在
to
帮助我们
increase
成
our
就。
bodhicitta.
所
So
以
it's actually
我们
helping
不
us
要
to
避
on the
免，
path
像
of
我
spiritual
是施食
accomplishment.
给你的那
So
个
don't
心
feel
态
as
来
though
做，
we are the
不是这
ones
样子，
giving.
是他
That's
们
not,
在
it's
帮
not
助
like
我
that.
们升起
They are
慈
the
悲
ones who are
心
actually
跟菩
helping
提
us to
心。
give rise to
所以我们
compassion
必
and
须要知道
bodhicitta.
这些道理之后，
So we need to
才有
understand
方
these
法能去
principles
做。
and know
要知
the
道这个原
methods
则，
to do
施
it.
食的原
And we
则
also
时
need
机
to
跟
know
方
its
向，
principles,
该怎么样来做才不会有
the
发生障
time
碍。
to do it
而
and
且
when
以
to
及
do
哈，
it, how to
做
visualize so
施
that we will
食
not
跟
give rise
修
to
法之后，
hindrances or
众会
obstacles,
事被
and
示
how do
范。
we
好 ，OK。
increase our efficiency or the
所以我们
efficacy of
今
doing
天呢
these
内容可以
practices.
分为
So
3
today's
第
class
一
can
组
be
是
divided into
施
three
食的时
sections. The
机
first
跟
part
形式，
is
第三
essentials
包
and
括基
guidelines
础的认识，
on
什么
food
身
offering.
份，什么样的人可以做施食。
What
地
kind of
点
people
跟
can
时间
carry
是
out
什么
this
时候，
practice?
那一
What are
周
the
没有
times
办
to do
法
it?
做的时候
Locations?
又该怎
What
么办？
happens when
那
you
我
are
们
going out, you
什么
can't
样
do
的
the
构
food
图
offering?
作为施食？
What are the offering
第二
items?
部分我们要
And the
谈到
second
的是
section will
仪
talk
式
about the
所
ritual
念的真
procedure,
言，然后
the
这个观想
mantras
法
used,
跟
and
法理
also
是
methods of
什么，
visualization. What does
尤
Grandmaster
其是
teach
第
us?
三碰水。
Especially when it
好，
comes to the
最
three
后的部
home
分就是
practice.
施食
The
常会
third
碰到的
section
问
will
题，
be about
好，
common
它可
problems
以
and
没有
solutions
观点可能
when
可以
trying to
修
carry
法。
out the food offering.
如果是
If
学过
you
的
haven't
就
received the
会
empowerment, can you do it?
障碍
What
或
happens
障
when
碍
there
或
are
者是障
obstacles
碍
or
是什
like
么
there
呢？
are problems
好，
at
我
home
讲
when you
到
carry
这
out the
里，
practice? What should we do?
好，下一
So
页。
these are the main points, an overview of
施
today's
食
lesson.
第一部分施食
The
须
first
知
part,
跟行持跟
essentials
反
to
应。
know
第一
and
个
guidelines
在
on the
谈
procedure.
判
The
施
first
食的
point
几个
is
他们认
about
识的哈，在这个经
conditions
典
for
里
food
面，
offering.
说就把
In
以
the
为
scriptures,
恶口头经
um,
里面，佛陀
in
就
this
已经说
scripture,
阿难
the
若
Buddha
有
told
这个
Ananda,
优婆
if
塞
there are
国
bhikkhus or
常
bhikkhunis,
四
upasaksikas or
加
upasakas,
持食
the
好，
fourfold
这个
assembly,
有
if
情改
they
变人
bless
间
food
种种
to
的。从
offer
这边
to
我
the
们可以
ghosts,
看到，
they
佛陀
can
已经讲
accumulate
了，从
immeasurable
出家
um,
众跟在家
blessings
众，
and
从
virtues.
四众弟
So
子皆
all
可以
of the
依法
fourfold
施食
assembly,
怎
whether
样去做
sangha
清
or
净
householders,
戒
they
行
can
去
carry
依
out
法
this food
修
offering
持，
right in
一
accordance
日
with the
不
Dharma,
住。
as long as
现
they
在所有
possess a
所谓
pure
施
heart
食的资格，
and
可以
basic
下一页。
upholding of the
施
precepts,
食
and
的
they
习惯
practice in
呢，
accordance with the Dharma.
上面开
So
始
what
了
about the
什么是
time to
过
carry out the
后
food offering?
过
Just now
之
I've
后即可
mentioned
以施食，
after noon,
帮
it
我
can be
们
carried
已
out,
经
or
最后的
evening
相应。
to
我们再来
night.
看，所以
These are times
经典
to
跟
attain
是怎么
responses.
讲的。
So in the scriptures, and Grandmaster has
那
also
他们
taught
为什么
us,
会这样讲话？表示
uh,
说这个施食是时
it
间是
has
很有
been
弹性的哈。
so it's very
那
flexible. The
十
practice
个
can be
呢，都
carried
是
out.
开示里面最
Grandmaster has mentioned many times that the best times to attain responses would be in the evening or at nightfall, because the spirits in the netherworld are more easily able to manifest. When it's too bright, they don't really want to come out so much. The first sub-point, Grandmaster in this has mentioned his discourse compilation that every day we need to carry out the food offering rite, and if you practice 4 times a day, then you need to carry out the food offering 4 times. So food offering in Tantric Buddhism is very, very important. It is very important. Something important needs to be mentioned 3 times. So we need to pay attention to this food offering practice. So when we first begin to our spiritual cultivation, we think that it has nothing to do with us. That is, and it's only for Dharma ceremonies. It's actually not like that. So Grandmaster has mentioned that it's very important 3 times. And in his book 209, Grandmaster has mentioned that in Tantric practice, at night, the main emphasis is on food offering and also 持气, holding the breath. And in Longchenpa's 7 years of retreat in Grandmaster's book 237, Longchenpa, one of the lineage gurus, he also practiced food offering after at the end of the day. So it's one important component of spiritual practice. Please remember. And in the last lesson, we mentioned Grandmaster said that it is the root of all spiritual accomplishment. I saw Dharma brother Lao Chong's reply. He writes very quickly and he responds. So it shows that he has really paid attention. For instance, the Garudas would treat the dragons as spaghetti, so Dharma brother Lao Chong is really awesome. So in book 166, Grandmaster's book 166, Grandmaster had a conversation with the Ghost King, and the Ghost King replied that the 4 times of offering Buddhas at noon. So in the temples, that would be the noon offering practice. And if you're offering to the devas, the heavenly beings, it's in the morning at ghosts and spirits at night, and to the spirits would be at the end of the day. These would be the 4 offering times. In his discourse compilation 692, Grandmaster mentioned that the Amrita as food offering is usually carried out after noon until night. For ghosts and spirits, from evening to nighttime is the best time to practice it. But if you're doing it afternoon time, that's also okay. So according to Mi Zong Dao Zi Di, like all times you can carry it out all times. And it's best to carry it out every single day. So if you're going out, like traveling, going on holiday, traveling overseas, for instance, if you usually carry it out at 5 p.m. but you go out and you can't make it back in time, then the day before, I mentioned I would tell everyone or I would that I'm going out. But if I forgot to mention it, then I would report or inform the deities at the altar that I'm going overseas for 10 days or 2 weeks, and that I'll come back. When I come back on this particular date, I will continue or resume the food offering ritual. If you forget and if you forget to even inform the deities at altar, then you can pray in your heart that I forgot to inform, and you pray to the Dharma Palace to help you to inform or just to convey the message, to pass along the message that you're away and therefore you can't carry out the food offering ritual. So there is something that you really, really need to pay attention to, which is that the location of the food offering needs to be outside. Otherwise, there might be spiritual clash or 冲犯. So you have to remember this very, 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 very important point that it needs to be carried out outdoors. Grandmaster has mentioned many times that you should avoid carrying it out indoors. So you can bless the food offering items indoors at your altar, then carry out the amrita water and the rice and water outdoors. Bring it outdoors to your balcony or outside the window, sprinkle outside your window. So if you don't have a balcony, you don't have a backyard, for example, I don't have a backyard, then I would do it at the window and sprinkle it outside the window. And Ayushma 连者 at Tangalizang Temple would also do it at the window. I've observed a few times a small little window, and he also does his food offering there, and he does it every single day. So we need to pay attention that, for example, if we're giving out bento boxes to vagabonds or the homeless, we don't invite them into our house. We give the food to them outside, because if you bring them indoors, sometimes they don't want to go. So similarly, the method is we're carrying out this food offering with a heart of equality. We are offering to the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and ghosts and spirits with a heart of equality. We are different from XX is because XX has a wish and she invited them indoors. So those who came into contact with her cultivation venue, a lot of people had negative consequences. So we have to remember outdoors, using compassion, we are nurturing our bodhicitta, we are forming good affinities with sentient beings, but we're not praying for them to help us. It's different. The intention is different. The content is different. You are doing it outside, and this will prevent spiritual clash, prevent chongfan. So this is a very, very important point that I'm stressing again. The next part from book 259, Grandmaster's book 259, Ghosts and Grandmaster Grandmaster for temples, the reverence during the noon offering of the temple. So offering to the Buddhas inside, offering to ghosts and spirits outside, indoors and outside. The place where we offer the food should not be under. So other peach trees has a symbolism of warding off evil, and willow trees are also the gathering places of specific spirits. So these are not places to offer food. Do not sprinkle food there. And what about the substances or the food offering items? Clean water with a little bit of rice, noodle, or biscuit crumbs. This is the most basic offering item. In Discourse Compilation 620, there are many, many kinds of offering items. Noodles, beans, meat, fish, porridge, biscuits, alcohol, liquor, water, spring onions, garlic, milk, and other items. But in Sutrayana traditions, there are items that are deemed not appropriate. So if the conditions are limited, you can just offer water with rice grains. Grandmaster has emphasized that all offering items need to be cleansed with amrita and also blessed by mantra. For instance, if you're offering to the nagas, the dragon spirits, you can visualize Dharma milk, like the ocean of Dharma. If you see celestial maidens, you can visualize various treasures or offering items, things like girls like pearls, gold, silver, etc. So a common method is to place 7 grains of rice into water The 7 rice grains represent the 7 Tathagatas in the yoga flaming mouth ritual. So they represent the blessings of the 7 Tathagatas. And a small conclusion is that it can be complicated or it can be simple, but the food offering rituals main point is in a pure heart, mantra and blessing, and also practicing in accord with the Dharma. You can use Amrita water and mantra to purify the offerings. And the second main part of the ritual procedure is the preparation. The key of it is that there are 3 keys to take note of. The first part is the preparation of the offering items. You prepare a clean cup and put clean water inside with a little bit of rice, noodles, or biscuit crumbs. And there are some pictures for reference on the right side of the screen. You see the water in the clean cup. You can use various kinds of clean cups. There is no fixed form about how, no matter how, like, you don't have to care too much whether it's transparent or with special designs on it. It's okay. I only use a simple glass cup. The thing is that it should be new and it has not been used, and you use that to. You don't have to buy a super beautiful cup, but if you have the heart to buy a beautiful cup, that's also fine. You can also prepare a small bottle of rice, and you can take out 7 grains of rice, and so put the 7 grains of rice and clean water inside the cup. And after you have done that, you can place it at your altar. If you don't have an altar, then you place it near where you are about to carry out the food offering. If you have an altar, you must offer incense at your altar. And at Taiwan Temple, we would offer incense at the main hall. Before we offer incense outside, there's a 天公炉, and incense for the Jade Emperor. And we would definitely pray for the great lineage blessing. So form mudra, visualize, and then Ruku's mantra 7 times. Pray for the ritual to be auspicious and perfect. And you also visualize yourself transforming into your own idam. In Discourse Compilation 620, he would visualize himself transforming into his own idam and use his left hand to hold the clean cup, and the right hand forms the sword mudra. He would recite the mantra. Then after that, visualize himself turning into his own idam in an instant, and the offering items transforming to fill the vast expanse of space. Write 3 home syllables. It's not mentioned super clearly, but he describes it in more detail later on. Then you sprinkle the food out. So there are 2 kinds of ritual procedures. Usually, how is it done? We can see that in this table, in this chart, there is, on the left side, it is the food offering verse, and then the second row is the mantra. The first column on the left is the noon offering. The second column on the right is the evening ritual. So for the noon offering, it's 大鹏金翅鸟，旷野鬼神众，罗刹鬼子母，甘露气充满. And the mantra is Om Mudhi Soha. So sometimes the ritual procedure, the mantra is written as Om Mudhi Li Soha. In Grandmaster's later books, it's written Om Mudhi Li Soha. So don't criticize other people as Om Mudhi Li is wrong, because both Om Mudhi Soha and Om Mudhi Li Soha are okay. They have both been taught. In the evening ritual, the verse and mantra is different. So if you practice 4 times a day and you perform the food offering rite 4 times a day, that's the best. But if in the evening ritual at temples, they would recite 汝等鬼神众，我今施汝供，此时便十方一切鬼神共. And the mantra is Om Muli Ling Soha. And this mantra is for beings of 海陆空, which is the sea, land, and air. So it's to all beings. The 2 mantras are different, and usually for food offering rite, we would recite the mantra and verse of the noon offering, and it is greater. The recipients of the noon offering is greater. So it's Garudas and also ghosts and spirits of the wilderness, Rakshasas, and Hariti. Whereas the evening ritual, it's the spirits of the sea, land, and air. So 2 notes. Om Mudi Soha 7 times. It's usually done at temples. It's recited 7 times in temples. But in Grandmaster's books, he sometimes writes recited 3 times. So for those of us without that much Dharma power, we can recite it 7 times, down to earth manner, recite it 7 times. For Om Mudi Soha, it's called Ganlu Gong Gui Shen Zhou. So it's the mantra to offer Amrita to ghosts and spirits. The next slide. The 2 kinds of food offering rites. The first one is Grandmaster's food offering rite. In the class handout, I wrote 快速施食法, which is quick food offering method, but I decided to change it to 法王施食法 in the PPT to make it easier for people to distinguish between the 2. So Grandmaster carries this out on a daily basis, and the mantra and the verse and mantra is as mentioned in the noon offering. It's mentioned in 2 books, book 243 and book 247. Slight differences. In book 243, he recites the mantra, the verse, and then the mantra. Then he uses the Vajra finger or the sword finger to write home, the home syllable on the clean cup. And then, so this is mentioned in book 243. In book 243, it's mentioned he draws a home syllable 3 times, and then he recites the verse and mantra. So I would draw the 3 home syllables first, and then chant the verse and mantra. So if you forget, then you can catch. Like if you forget to draw the syllables first, then after you recite the verse and mantra, then add on the home. So the main thing is the lineage empowerment, the blessing of the 3 home syllables, not so much in the sequence, the chronological sequence. So it's the blessing power of the 3 home syllables. It's for those who have very limited time, the cultivators with very limited time, you can practice this method. The next slide, if you have a little bit more time, mentioned in book 81 from 真佛一个已经, this simple food offering method, this is slightly different in 2 places. It has the food transformation mantra and the Amrita water mantra, Amrita mantra. So 4 points. If we're following what is mentioned in the sutras, you can use the food offering, food transformation mantra. the hungry ghost will be able to eat the food after you bless it with the food transformation mantra. So Moggallana wanted to save his mother in the hungry ghost realm, but he was not able to do so. So it's not easy to give food to hungry ghosts. You have to rely on the power of the Buddhas and also rely on this method that was taught by the Buddha to Venerable Ananda. And if you follow it, you'll be able to offer food to hungry ghosts. So there is the addition of the food transformation mantra. The first is the food transformation mantra. The second is the Amrita water mantra. And then the third and fourth are in the previous method as well, the food offering verse and the food offering mantra. The verse and mantra to offer food outside. So first we visualize the food transforms into multiplies into endlessly. So as mentioned, we usually visualize first and then recite mantra. So hold up the cup to your forehead and recite the food offering mantra. Namo Sawa Tanta Yado. So you're invoking Avalokiteshvara and all Tathagatas. So invoking all Tathagatas, invoking Guanyin Bodhisattva, and then visualize them blessing the water, and then transforms into the food transforms. So invoking all Tathagatas and then Guanyin Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva. Then you recite this food transformation mantra. And then after that, you recite the Amrita mantra. This is invoking Surupakaya Tathagata. We are invoking 妙色身如来 Surupakaya Tathagata. So 但是它
波来输入我还是解释一下哈，它这个是超妙，就是更好。所以当我在念咒
Sulu Polai Sulu is wondrous, sublimely wondrous. And you recite this mantra into the water. So I see a lot of people reciting a mantra, they just recite it perfunctorily. I don't know whether they are reciting without any intention. It's like a bubble that just bursts or in the air. So when we are blessing with mantra, we need to use our mind. When I recite it, I visualize the mantra syllables in the water, or the mantra in the water, or the mantra blessing the water. It's not just dissipating in the air. In Grandmaster's book 81, the food offering ritual contains these two additional mantras, the food transformation mantra and also the Amrita mantra. So the beings that have incomplete bodies, they can their form can be completed, can be restored to the original form or to a good form. Next slide. And then you sprinkle the food and the water and rice outside after it has been blessed by the mantra and the visualizations. So we can compare the two. In book 185, written by Grandmaster, if you encounter ghosts, hungry ghosts where their throats are closed, you can also empower with the Kai Yan Ho Zhen Yan. So the mantra to open up throats, or the throat opening mantra. 甘露水真言, the Amrita mantra, 辨识真言 is the food transformation mantra. So these are special circumstances. If you encounter spirit beings, spirits with these situations, you can empower these mantras to help them. So these two methods have both been taught by Grandmaster, and they both have their merits. So if you don't have time and you need to do a quick food offering, you can do Grandmaster's method of food offering. If you have a bit more time, you can do the simple food offering method, which can help to transform food and also to bless it with the Amrita mantra so that it has more power. Depending on your time and methods, circumstances, you can flexibly do the practices. If you have a bit more time, you can do the simple food offering, right? If you don't have sufficient time, then you can do the quick food offering method of writing the 3 home syllables. Both are fine. There is no fixed method. You don't have to stick to one fixed method. So, Om Mudi Soha, we know it has to be recited 7 times. Food offering, food transformation mantra, and also the Amrita mantra. Grandmaster didn't mention how many times, but I personally would do it according to. I would follow the rituals, the longevity altar rituals, and the bardo deliverance rituals, and recite the food transformation mantra and the Amrita mantra 3 times each. So for visualization, it's a very important component of the food offering ritual. Its efficacy is not on the offering items itself, but on our visualization, our mind power, the blessing power of the mantras. So Tantric Buddhism pays attention to offering of intent, using your mind and combined with the blessing power of the idams, the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, deities. It will be able to transform limited food offering into innumerable, endless, limitless, infinite, marvelous food offerings. So through the blessing of the 3 home syllables, Avalokiteshvara, who is the main deity, Avalokiteshvara with the willow branch blesses the clean, pure vase. Her Amrita, she sprinkles the Amrita from a willow branch into the pure vase. And you can visualize the offering items transforming into ocean of Dharma, ocean of milk, clouds of treasures. So regarding visualization, the 3 home syllable. Have you heard of the 3 home syllables water? If you have heard of it, type in 111. If you have never heard of it, type in 000. So some have heard of it, some have not. Some have not heard of this. So what exactly is 3 home water? 3 home shui. In Discourse Compilation 618, Grandmaster uses a cup of water, blesses it with home to bless the water. You have to visualize the home shining light, key point, shining light, and transforming endlessly, and it needs to transform into an infinite home. So it's not just it has to transform. In Discourse Compilation 615, the home syllable can transform something that is very secular and mundane, but after empowering it with blessing with 3 home syllables, it becomes superb or remarkable, extraordinary offerings. So I mentioned previously that when we do offering, visualize the home syllable in our hearts, shining light, and then Manjushri Bodhisattvas, Om Abela Hom Kajala Soha, Om Alabazanadi, the C syllable, transforming to Manjushri Bodhisattva, then we recite Om Abela Hom Kajala Soha. I'm sure you've heard of this. Om Alabazanadi, Om Manjushriya. Om Abela Hom Kachala
你
Sora.
观想这个 home
You
字，
visualize the home syllable.
home 字开
Sorry.
光照
You
相，
visualize the
然后
home
要解释
syllable shining
这
light
个
on the
文殊
meat,
师利菩萨
and the
在
meat
放光把它结合，可
transforms
是啊，
back into the
是我们
image
知
of
道的
the
home 字很
animal.
特殊圣的
But we
意
know
义，
that the home
可是大
syllable
家可以
has
观想，是因为
extraordinary
home 字
power,
放光照
but
相
then
是
you
我们觉得
visualize
好像
the
不到1
home
秒钟就
syllable,
结束了。
but you
我
finish the
很想分享
visualization in less than 1
这个
second.
观想跟
I like to
念
say
太多
dabbing
了，
soy
我
sauce.
们有办
The
法去
visualization is too
运
weak.
行
How can
去
you
想一想，你有
help
放
the
光，
meat,
到底
gather
用
the
什么样
meat
的方
and
式呢？
transform it
这
back
个念头
into
请
the
分享，
flesh,
然后一
back
下子
into
就
the image of the form of the animal.
所以
Um,
我真的是恳求大家哈，
so I really
既然要 home 字放光，
beseech
然后等一下我
everyone
们会讲
and
这
treat
个
everyone
这个
to
神
do the
大家的
visualization
home
properly.
字可不可以
Visualize the home
光光的
syllable
时间
to
长一
shine
点，
light and visualize it shining light. Visualize a bit longer
好不好？
so that
提醒大家
the
一下。
meat can
好，我们看下
form
一页，狮子讲
the
三
can
控水，
be restored into the form of the
在这
animal.
个神行记里，
And
我画
in
的这个路
Grandmaster's
线
book
是 om ah home
166,
的3控水，
Grandmaster
这个是
wrote
在水上
Om
写
Ah
下的
Home
控字，汉
syllables.
字哦，不能写中文哦，
Find
或者
the
是
Sanskrit
藏
syllables,
文
don't
也
write
是 可
Chinese
以的
characters.
哈。
You can write
告诉你
Tibetan
的是什么？
syllables
是
as
内
well,
在的
Sanskrit
是我
syllables,
们
but
自
not
己
the
的
Chinese
本身，
characters.
是有灵力的，可以净化
It
众
has
生的
spiritual
业
power.
障
It can
第
help
二
to
点，它
purify
有
the
神
karmic
性，
hindrances of
因为
sentient
是水
beings
性来
of
的，
beings.
能聚
It
化
has
你
Buddha
众
power.
生的
It
心，
can combine or
然后
gather,
保
invoke
护
the
净
spiritual
化
power
学
of
业
the
把
cosmos
灵性发
and
挥到
arrive
极致。
at
所以呢，
enlightenment
我
or
神识的这个甘露可以把他的佛性打开，融入他自己
it
的
can
自
open
性，
up the
就
Buddha
在
nature
自己
of
本来
the
的
spirit
本性
beings
当中沉浸
and
在
help
里
them
面。
to merge into their
我
own
神
Buddha
识了甘
nature,
露，可以
immersed
不
in
再
the
受饥饿之苦，不
ocean of
受
light.
种种约束，
So
甚
then
至
the
因为
spirits
净化
will
而
not
生入
suffer
天上
from
界。
hunger
铭
and
记众
various
生放下
limitations.
自
They will
我，
become
放下
purified.
执着，
They can
回
even
到
ascend
跟
to the
佛
heavenly
性相
realms.
结合，
They
甚至
can
进
merge
入
with Buddha
极乐
nature.
世界
They
的
can even
境
enter
界。
into the
秒实时的
deepest
这个
realms of the
施
Pure
舍的
Land
水灯明
of ultimate
也可
bliss,
以往生。
full of joy
所以
and
这样大
without
家可以
any
知道这个
hindrances
控字的
or
力量，也就
obstacles.
是我
So
们
the
念
home
佛
syllable
有
is
神
supremely
性有
powerful.
灵力的
It
控
has
字，
spiritual power.
我们要
Use
施
that
食
to
的这个
bless
米水，或者
the
是我们
rice
刚
and
刚讲
water,
吃饭前
or
的
what we
超
mentioned
度。
just now,
所以这
the
个 home 字
deliverance
上来
before
的，
eating,
请大家不
the
要
home
小看
syllable
今天
shining
这
light.
件事情。
Please don't overlook
下一
this.
页。
Please don't treat it lightly.
所以刚
Do
刚
it
师尊
properly.
讲的这个3
So
控
Grandmaster
并
has
不是
mentioned
让
the
你这个
three
心
home
里想
syllable
世
water.
世界
It's
有
not
咒诅跟
just
观想，所以你的
um
观想要清
we're
晰，
not doing it
才
arbitrarily.
可以
You have to
把这个
visualize it
潭水
clearly
化为真正
and
有真实
then
力
it can
的
really
甘露，
transform to
可
something
以利益
substantial
冥界众生。
to really
所以
benefit the
持
spirit
世纪
beings.
之后加上
So
Om
after
Ah Home
the verse,
Home Home，
then
这个
bless with the
或者是你
syllables
吃饭
Om
最
Ah
后
Home Home
所
Home
加
Home,
上
or
这个 Om Ah
for when
Home
you're
Home
doing
Home，
your
其实
food
跟我
offering
们
before
护法
meals.
是一样的
Uh,
道理。我们在
it
护
has the
法
same
模式
principles
常
as
常
the
讲
feast
有
offering.
依次第做供养，这
We
个供
do
养
the
上
food
师
offering
有
in
供养
stages.
这个
First, we
第一个供养
offer
护法，
to Guru,
后
then
来才
the
外供，
Idam,
会
then
面会
the
到众
the
生这些，
deities, and then the
反复
beings
都
of the
是用
six
供
realms,
法
and then the spirit beings.
来
We would
加
use
持
Om
跟
Ah Home
净化。
repeatedly in
下面有
sequence to
请
do
唵字光
purification
明
and
指，
offering.
加
So
持
Om
光
Ah
明，
Home, there
一
is
片满时
Om
空，就是越来越
syllable
多的意思。
transforming
阿
to a
字
lot.
变清净，
Ah
吽
transforms
字变
Ah
甘露
light
海，
shines and
所以
transforms and
变多变
purifies
清
it.
净变甘露。
Home syllable, the
照着
light
句子都要
shines and
老
then
宗师说，
it transforms into
变多变
Amrita.
清净变
So
甘露。
form
台湾
a
的小学
sentence.
生会造句哈，老宗师说有没有办法
The
造一个
elementary
句子
school
出来？
kids in
小
Taiwan
学
would
生都会有学造
would
句
learn
的
to form
这3
sentences,
个字，
造句. So form a sentence with these three words in brackets. My intent is to help people remember. It's like a mnemonic to help remember So the sentence I form is, or construct is, transform into a lot of Amrita. That makes it much easier to remember. If you forget what Om Ahom is about, the first Om is to transform to many, Ah is to transform to purify it, and Hom is to transform into Amrita. So transform it into a lot of pure Amrita. 变多变清净变甘露. So the light shines and the transformation has this threefold meaning. Then it transforms into this pure offering. So remember Om Ahom, the significance of it. So before the first mantra or after, my habit is before I would bless with the syllables, then invoke Guanyin Bodhisattva and Surupakaya Tanakata to bless. And I observe a phenomena, which is that they would do that. They would write it very quickly, the home syllables on the cup, and that's it. I don't think that's the way when you're writing the home syllable, concentrate, focus. I would invoke the deities to bless my finger of light and then write the home syllable on the water. The home syllable has to enter the water, it has to shine light, and then write the second home syllable in the water, and the home syllable, one home syllable transforms into an infinite home syllables. You have to really concentrate. Don't write it negligently, don't write it carelessly, write it very quickly. Write it properly, write the home syllable with your whole heart or even your soul. Don't write it arbitrarily or negligently. So the three home water, san home shui. So it has spiritual power. The second visualization is Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva Guanxing Pusa blessing with Amrita. So Grandmaster mentions this visualization when he is doing the visualization. He would visualize Guanyin Bodhisattva appearing in the vast expanse of space. There is an image of Guanyin on the right side of the screen, holding a pure vase in her left hand and a willow branch in the right hand. So you need to sort of coordinate the clean cup with to hold. You have to visualize the feeling of her pure water from her pure vase dripping into the clean cup or pouring into your clean cup. So you can use the hook to invoke Guanyin Bodhisattva to compassionately descend and bless the water. If there is no food transformation or if you don't recite the Amrita mantra, then you just recite the first mantra to perform the food offering outdoors. You can still, but you should still visualize Guanyin Bodhisattva, even if you're not doing the food transformation mantra and also the Amrita mantra, because she's the main deity of this practice. So she's the main deity of this practice, so we need to invite her, invoke her. So if we don't invoke her, then something's amiss, right? So next slide. Remember to invoke Guanyin Bodhisattva when doing the food offering. The next part of the food offering is not how expensive the food offering is, but it's in your intention, in your mind. Using your mind, your intention to transform the offering into a marvelous, sublime offering. There are 4 parts to this. Use your intention, and the rice and water is the medium. You can't just use nothing or emptiness to do it. You can't just ask anyone to do it, like somebody who hasn't done it before, or 2 youths, as I mentioned in the last time, who have never done it before. Their Grandmaster has mentioned it, that it's kong kong, which is a futile offering of emptiness, because it has no power. So how can we prevent the food offering from becoming a kong kong? It is to first visualize from limited to a lot, from few to. The second is from small to big. The second is to transform it into perfection. Using the analogy of Indra's net, it becomes infinite offerings. There is no problem of not enough. And the last visualization is one transforming into infinite or a lot. So in Tantric Buddhism, in Tantric altars, there are 2 rows of offerings. Usually you notice the 8 offerings at the front. And in truth, there is also another row of 8 cups of water. These 8 cups of water, do you know what it means? Does everyone know? If you have never heard of this, type in 000. If you know, type in 111. So this is apart from the first row of 8 offerings. Okay, so most people have not heard of it. It's okay. Next time. You know, so the first row is the 8 offerings. The second row is the 8 cups of clean water. It is for us to visualize it transforming into 8 flowers, or 8 cups of 8 bowls of gourmet cuisines, or 8 cups of milk, or it's up to you. It can transform into anything. So the 4 components of visualization, transforming to a lot, transforming into very big, transforming into perfection, and transforming into various kinds. So the cup is rice and water. Using the rice and water is the medium, the channel, and we use this to transform. For instance, if you want to eat fried chicken, visualize fried chicken to offer to ghosts and spirits. You can't always visualize. Never mind, let's go into that later. So usually what we eat at lunch, if you still have an impression at 5 p.m., you can visualize what you ate at noon. You can visualize things that you use, like for instance, in cold weather, in winter, you can visualize a winter jacket. All the things that you enjoy, that you like, you can visualize transformation. So don't offer emptiness. Don't let it become a futile offering, an offering in vain. And you can't also just offer water every day. You can't just offer water every day. The first day you offer water, they're very happy. If you offer water next year, they might not want to come again to drink water. So what does Grandmaster say? we can't just sprinkle water. You have to add in your intent. So we mentioned 4 kinds of visualization, 4 components of visualization. So into a lot, into very big, into perfection, into various kinds. So it can transform into a great ocean of Dharma, of milk, a great ocean of milk, into the precious gems, into mountains of rice. So these are key points. So it's not just pure water that's being you visualize. You can't ask them to drink water every day. You can't ask the ghosts and spirits to drink water every day. So in the past, people didn't really teach us how to perform the offering. So at noon, it's food and water, food and vegetables, but at night, there is only water and rice grains. If you don't know how to do visualization, whether monastics or householders, it's not just rice and water. You cannot think this is the case. So Grandma says written specifically, you don't give people water every day or rice every day. Will you be happy if you ate rice and drank water every day only? If you just have rice every single day, after many days, you might get sick of it. You might transform it into hot pot, fried chicken, anything that you like. Okay, so visualize according, transform the offering into many, many kinds. According to rules of Tantric Buddhism, you need to have actual offering items. So it needs the medium of rice grains, water, and you can use the mala beads as a ritual implement. Use your mind to do the offering, the food offering. Grandmaster has also mentioned if it's an empty offering and transform the spirits, the multitude of spirit beings will not be able to actually enjoy the offering, and then it becomes shortcoming. If they can't enjoy the food, what does this mean? People will become angry, right? So then troubles will arise. So please, for yoga flaming mouth ceremonies or the yoga of liberating the hungry ghost flaming mouth ritual ceremony, you need to know how to transform the food into all kinds of food. This is an offering of the mind. So 意供, 意念上的供养. So that's Chinese for offering of the mind, of the intention. You can't just because the Dharma ceremony is going to start, and I just quickly, briefly tell you how to do it, the procedure. Then the people doing it can only just scatter the food, and there's no power. So you don't take this lightly. Please don't do it negligently. Do it properly. Another point regarding visualization, do it with a pure heart, empower it with mantra, and know how to transform it. Use the 3 home water. You need to focus your mind to bless it with Dharma power. And repeat again, 4 points. Transform into many, transform into very big, transform into perfection, transform into many kinds, various kinds. So transform it into a lot of pure Amrita. So Om Ahom. It has this threefold meaning, transform to a lot of pure Amrita. You can use a little bit of rice, rice grains, noodles, or biscuit crumbs, and clean water. Remember, it has to transform endlessly, fill up the entire space, the vast expanse of space. For example, if I were visualizing fried chicken, then you have to visualize the fried chicken transforming endlessly, filling the vast expanse of space, and it descending then you recite Om at home, and for example, I'm holding the clean cup. Om enters the water, and the sky is filled with fried chicken, blessed with the Om syllable shining light. A red syllable, and then the blue home syllable. So infinite Om C syllables, A syllables, infinite home syllables, and then sprinkle the water and rice grains. If you don't understand, you can ask later. So there are also other questions, common questions. To offer food to the Garudas, we need empowerment. Grandmaster answers, if you're a disciple, you can do it. As long as you follow the ritual procedure clearly, without any shortcomings, there will not be any shortcomings. So, question, why is it that some people do this food offering right, and then at home there are troubles, there are family members' health have problems, and like the family's fortune plummets? Is it because not enough power, Dharma power, or the method is wrong, the visualization is unclear? The answer is, after you do it and your family's fortune plummets, it becomes not good. It might be because at that time period, it just happens to be the time when your fortune is transforming and you're encountering misfortunes. It's not related. It's not necessarily related to doing the food offering. So, for example, sometimes people go hiking and then there's a spirit clash, or if they go to the hospital and then there's some spirits following them home, and that they have some troubles, but it's not related to the food offering practice. So Grandmaster has mentioned on Dharma ceremonies, because Grandmaster does the bardo deliverance every day, a lot of spirit beings gather at his home, so he doesn't do boundary protection. But that's Guru, that's Grandmaster. Where the lion leaps, the rabbits cannot jump. So where Grandmaster does, we cannot emulate Grandmaster in certain ways. For most practitioners in general, we need to do boundary protection of our homes. Don't neglect this. If you are concerned, if there are any issues might arise due to this food offering, you need to do a boundary protection. This is one of the basic rituals of Tantric Buddhism, or Tantric practice. You can do the fourfold boundary protection. Visualize the four purbas, the four corners, and then the Vajra walls, and the Vajra net, and also the Vajra flames. This is the basic fourfold boundary protection. So, next slide. In Discourse 615, some practitioners think that after doing the food offering right, there are karmic hindrances, etc. The reason is because inside and outside there is no clear demarcation. If you do the food offering at your door, but then you don't do boundary protection, you don't do sprinkling purification, then ghosts and spirits may enter indoors and problems might arise. So you need to do boundary protection. As mentioned just now, if you go hiking or if you go to a hospital, sometimes you might encounter spirits who follow. So if you want peace at home, you need to do boundary protection on a regular basis. It's not necessarily related to food offering. On a regular basis, you should frequently do the boundary protection. You can do it on the true day, according to your almanacs. which will tell you the list of dates, whether it's 初日, 满日, etc. So look for the 初日, which is a removal day, literally translates to the removal day, and do the 洒净, which is sprinkling purification. And after informing the deities, you use the Great Compassion water or the Great Compassion water blessed by Guru and visualize white light from inside your house, from the second floor to the first floor, from inside to outside at the door, and then do the boundary protection. You can do the fourfold boundary protection mentioned just now, or we're still talking about boundary protection. Every day when you're doing protection, during your daily protection or before you sleep, do you do it every day? Grandmaster does protection every day. Do you do it every day? That's a question. Defense protection. Dharma sister Shaman says yes, very good. If you do it every day, then there shouldn't be any problems when you do the food offering, right? And you can also protect your family members. What else does Grandmaster say? In a mandala, you can offer to the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. But why is it that when we offer to ghosts and spirits, we have to do it outside the mandala? Because Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and Dharma protectors are pure, but outside, we're offering to ghosts and spirits, and these are different. They are still not pure. So, in the temples, we do the offering to Buddhas, Bodhisattvas before the deities, before the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, but we are doing the food offering to ghosts and spirits outside. So we're different from insects. Ghosts cannot enter the temples arbitrarily, so we have to go outside to give it to them. What other reminders from Grandmaster? After the food offering rite, practitioners can use, if you remember, you can rinse your mouth with the pure water, or even dab at your eyes, ears, mouth, your heart region, navel, even your whole body with the pure blessed water to remove any negative or noxious energy from if the ghosts and spirits come too close. We have that aerosol spray, right? That spray, if it's too difficult, use that spray diffuser, fill it with Great Compassion, Dharani blessed water, then you can just spray yourself. And that's it. Something simple, no issues. So these are important steps to purify ourselves, for practitioners to purify ourselves. Don't overlook these steps. Grandmaster further emphasizes we need to constantly do protection, sprinkling purification, boundary purification. We cannot let people come to pollute it, contaminate it. So your home, your altar, mandala, you need to frequently carry out 洒净, sprinkling purification, 结界, boundary protection, 守护, defense protection or protection. So every half a month, do the sprinkling purification with the TBSOU shui, the Great Compassion Dharani blessed water, to the boundary protection of your home. And also in book 81, if you have time, then you can recite, as mentioned, the food transformation mantra and the Amrita mantra. If you don't have time, then just go directly to the Shi Shi Ji and mantra. That's step 3 and 4. So that's the first time mantra to carry out the food offering outside. So after writing the home syllable 3 times, before you sprinkle it, you need to visualize it transforming into endlessly, and the food has to transform into various kinds, visualize into a lot, all kinds, not just rice and water every day. So burgers, fried chicken, anything. So that is our introduction to the food offering rite today. So if you have any questions, you can also type them in the chat or raise them.
让我们感恩莲位上
Thank
师
you,
的
Master
慈悲授
Lian
课。
Wei,
今
for
天
your
我
compassionate
上师深
teaching.
入浅出
And
的
after
讲
your
解，
detailed
让我们
explanation
对
of the
世
food
上的
offering
福
rite,
更深入
we
的
have a
认
much
识。
deeper
那
understanding.
现在呢，我们
And now
进入
let's
释义火
go
释义解惑
into
的
the
环节。
question and answer segment.
这是 Elise 问的，
This
请
is a
问
question from
供
Elise.
需要写梵文吗？
Does the
还
home
是呢
seed syllable
汉文
need
也
to
可
be
以？
in Sanskrit
汉文
or
不行，
Chinese
中文都
characters?
可以哦。你
Chinese
写藏文
characters, no,
或者
no.
写藏文，
Write it either in
汉
Sanskrit
文
or
是不具有
Tibetan.
力量的哦。
Chinese
好，
characters don't have power.
谢谢上师的解答。
Thank
莲花
you,
自
Master
容
Lian
问
Wei.
的，请问
The next
上
question
师，
from Lianhua Zirong.
少许米、7厘米都可以吗？ 2.
A few
提前
grains of
妄
rice
想
or
时
7 grains
候
of
都在
rice,
坛
both are
上，
okay.
然后才
Question
出
2,
去阳台
when we
吃水
visualize
供
clearly
嗡目的礼时候
and
可
the
以吗？
mantra, are these at the altar? Then we go out to the balcony to recite the
我们一般都
mantra,
知
the
道
verse and mantra.
就是
Usually
象
we
征
would
七如来，跟家宴口里面的七如来是一
usually
样的
if
意
you're
思。
putting a few grains
在
of
放
rice,
的时候
then
你就
recommend you
写
can
你就有多一个
place
念
7 grains
七
of
如来的
rice
概念。
and which represent the 7 Tathagatas. So the light of the 7 Tathagatas, their
时候
blessing,
都在坛上
has
表
that
示。
that
之
power.
后才出世。
And
也有人这样，没有坛成的人，你
some
祝福
people
你
without the
到
altar,
在
they
你
would
的
just do
阳
it
台或者
from
在
beginning
厨
to
房，或
end
者在
at
你
their
家
window or
宴
at
后
their
花园，
balcony
都
or
可
their
以。
backyard.
有人是每天跑，
So
天哪，可能偶尔跑
some
一下。
people,
算了，我不要讲了。
okay, never mind. I will not mention it.
没有坛成的，
If you don't have an altar,
阳台或者跟
you do
家
it at
宴
your
就做
balcony or your window to do
坛成的
everything.
基本
If you
上
have an altar,
有坛成的
then
就
as
是上
mentioned,
香。
you would
那
offer
持
incense
咒
at the altar,
观想，
then
我会先在
mantra
持
and
咒
visualization at
等
the
到
altar.
我要开始
Then
念
when I am
施食
about
记
to
的咒
recite
的
the
时候，
shi
你
shi
才会
ji,
到
the
这个
verse
灶火
to
边去，或者到阳
carry
台
out the food offering outside, then
这样有
I
没有
would
达
do
到？
that outside.
好，谢谢
Did that
前
answer your
面的
question?
对我前面的请观世
So
音菩萨，
the front
因为
part
我有念
invoking
天使经
Guan
文
Yin,
跟甘露水
the
经，
food
我
transformation
有应该
mantra
开
and
始
the
持续
Amrita
跟加
mantra,
持，或者
and
念
also
为本
Grandmaster's
尊，随
blessing
后
at the
持
very
咒。
beginning,
好，
visualization of
接
the
着甘
Yidam,
露水真
all
言
of that is
跟
at the
天
altar,
使真言跟甘露
if
水
you have
真言，
one.
这个我都在开始
And
做。等到
and
坛成
only
时
the
候，
part
金刚可以加持我多一点时
because
间，
the
因为我
altar
做
has
好
many deities, they
要
can
念
bless
定
the
时，
rice
所
and
以
water.
知识记
So
跟
only
咒
when
我
I'm
才到
reciting the Shi Shi Ji
灶火边
and
或者阳台。
mantra, then I would go to I would
好，
do that
感恩上师
at
的慈悲
the
解答。
balcony or window. Thank you, Master Lin Wei, for your answer.
卡妹问，请问上
Next
师，
question.
会供大法会事业
During
金
the
刚
feast
出外
offering
施
Dharma
食
ceremony
施产
when
时
Shi Ye
咒
Jing Kang go outside
扎
to
巴兰
offer,
达卡黑呀卡黑卡黑
would
有何不同？要如何
what
观
is the
想？
difference between that
这
mantra
个
and
是
what is the
会供另外
visualization
一
for
个
that?
施食，我们等
That is the food
等
offering
把偶
for
供跟
feast
对，
offering.
因为我们的课程里面没有包括
Because our
禅师是这样子啦，因为已经
course does
有
not
点
include
吃过
the
了，
food
所以就是说
feast offering.
把它
Chanshi is
让它
the
变得圆满一
food
点。
remainders. So we need
所以
to
这个部分的话，可能我
bless
们
the
供完
food
这个结大
remainders
后
to
都有讲
become
过，如果有空我们再
perfect.
讲这个事情。
So if there is time, we will talk about it
感谢
later
上
on.
师的解答。这是辅导员莲花丽妙助教问，请问上
Next
师，在
question.
做午供之时，
When
举
doing
起
the
食
noon
时
offering,
插勺走向
where
室外
we
途中，
hold up
不小
the
心将勺中的事实
the hand and knife or the hand, the spoon and fork, and going outside, and the food falls on the ground, do we need to go back to the altar and do it all over again? This question about the noon offering, there is food, as mentioned, at noon offering at the temples. Next lesson, there will be the video of the food offering, the noon offering ritual, and you can see how it's done. It's how the procedure is carried out. That's called a knife and hand, 关刀佛手. If your knife and hand, you don't hold it properly, and the food, a little bit of it falls to the ground, there's still food on the knife and the hand, you can still go out and do it. But if you don't hold it properly and all the food falls, then you have to do it all. You have to go back to the altar to take the food, to place the rice back onto the hand. You can't hold an empty hand and carry it. There's no food. You need the medium of the rice on the hand to carry out the noon offering. But don't be alarmed or don't be embarrassed. Sometimes it might happen. It's okay. Just go back to the altar and take the food, take the rice, a little bit of the rice again. Thank you for your answer, Master. Next question. If there are shortcomings in the food offering rite, will there be ka-in or spiritual clash? No. So sometimes at the beginning, there might be deficiencies. You can pray that although it's not mentioned in the ritual procedure, but I will definitely recite at least the short version of the 100 syllable mantra. Om Betsa Sato A Hom Pe. You can pray that sincerely that I'm just starting out on this practice. I haven't learned it fully yet, so please forgive me. You recite it properly, recite the mantra properly. We seriously, and then that is able to make up for any deficiencies in your procedure, and you have done your boundary procedure. So you're just starting out, it's okay. Seek their understanding and their forgiveness. The next question, can we just use water to do the food offering? Master Liang Wei says, you need to add rice grains into your water. Just as I mentioned just now, you can't just do water, you need to do rice or some flour, or biscuit crumbs. I'm sure there's rice at home, so you need to visualize the rice transforming to various kinds of food. Even if you have rice and water, you also need to visualize the rice and water transforming into different kinds of gourmet cuisine, different kinds of food, lobsters, fried rice, all kinds of vegetables, food, cuisines. So Grandmaster has also mentioned this. If we're doing it at home, do we do it the front door or the back door? Do we need to go outside the door? Grandmaster does it at his backyard. If you only have one door at home, or for me, I do it at the window. Because I live in an apartment building, I can't go all the way to the ground floor. You can also do it at your window or at your balcony. You don't have to go outside of your home. If you do it outside of your home, that's also okay. If you have a back door, you can do it outside your back door. Thank you, Master, for your reply. Next question. Is there an audio recording of the two mantras? The food transformation mantra and the Amrita mantra? Let me recite it. Listen. Oh wait, the next lesson, on the noon offering, I will add it to the later lessons, there is the food transformation mantra and Amrita mantra. It might be, the way I pronounce it might be slightly different from the Seattle temple, but I can recite it first. Food offering, food transformation mantra. If you Okay, and then the Amrita mantra. Here,
平常大家这个锣哈，一个口一个锣，奔拉，大部分很多人就是跟师尊一
the
样，
Chinese
都是念
character
拉的
is
音。西雅图的
recited
手
as
音
la.
也是念拉这个音，可是我
Sometimes they recite la, but I heard Guru pronounce it as
他念的是苏噜苏噜奔来苏来，他念的是那天我听到
lai,
是
ben lai. The what I heard that day was not la but lai. So I follow Guru's pronunciation. So you don't have to listen to me. You listen to based on what you have listened.
辨识真言跟甘露水真言，所以请大家跟着西雅图的
So
念。
You can follow Seattle Temple's version, Seattle Ling Xian Jing Shi Temple, LSCTT Temple's version. During the later classes on the 延生位, 往生位, longevity altar, vital deliverance altar lessons, there'll be, the audio recordings will be shared. There are many perfumes that have been offered during Dharma ceremonies, or Homa ashes. Can they be used to do boundary protection? Yes, you can. You can use the perfumes for Homa ceremonies or Homa ashes to for sprinkling purification. Usually it's water blessed by great compassion Dharani. After you purify, then you do protection. A lot of people use Grandmaster's Dharma ceremony blessed perfume. They will bring that perfume to hotels and then and spray it for protection, for boundary protection. So the perfume used and offered during Homa ceremonies by Grandmaster was used as boundary protection. So for questions unrelated to today's lesson, then we will skip them. So I will not answer question 1.
第二题是三烘水可以改用大悲咒水吗？
3 home water, can we change it to Great Compassion Dharani blessed water and transform this Great Compassion Dharani blessed water transform into all kinds of food? When we're doing food offering, the water that we use, usually we use water that has been blessed by the Great Compassion Dharani, Grandmaster blessed water. So if you have a little bit of the water that has been blessed by Grandmaster, the Great Compassion Dharani water, it's running out, just add more pure water inside, and the whole thing, you have an endless supply of Great Compassion Dharani blessed water. The food transformation mantra, Amrita mantra, you are blessing the Great Compassion Dharani blessed water with more blessings. So it is Great Compassion Dharani blessed water plus food transformation mantra plus Amrita water, or the 3 home syllables. Use the power of your mind, do it focused, in a focused manner. You can visualize celestial peaches transforming into all kinds of fruit juices, etc. It's fine. What about the fourfold boundary protection? The floorboards, do we visualize? How do we visualize? For the floor, we visualize the Vajra foundation. When you're the four Vajra purbas, the scepters at the bottom, there's the Vajra foundation. That's for the floor. You can also visualize the double doji at the bottom. That's also fine, or a very solid Vajra foundation.
只有家里有坛城，就在家里阳台上做，上班的地方就没做，这样可以吗？
上班的地方，你会回家吧？
At home, there's the altar, and then we can do it at the balcony. But when we're doing it but at work, we don't have an altar, then we don't do it. It's okay. If you're going out overseas on work and you are not going home that day, then you can inform the deities at home to convey to the spirits that you are going outside going out for a work assignment for 2 days. You're only coming back on a certain day, then you continue or resume the practice then. The home syllable sequence of writing the home syllable. I can't write it, draw a circle and then a crescent moon, a stroke, then a 5, and then like so 0, crescent, 1 stroke, numerical 5 similar, and then a 2, and then the tail switches up, swirls up. Something like that. A lot of people write it wrongly. They have extra dash or a stroke here or there, or less a stroke. So we need to pay attention. So after the food offering, can we do merit dedication? Yes, if you have time, you can do the merit dedication. It's like when we eat, and I have encountered people who the offering first, they don't recite that, they just recite the food offering mantra. Actually, when you recite the verse, 消业速速正菩提, it's removing our karmic hindrances to attain enlightenment. This is also a form of dedication. So after doing something with so-called merit, don't think that the food offering first has no use. After doing the food offering, you can do the merit dedication. Next question. I'm doing the balcony. 无论我如何用力甩水米出去，食物还是落在自家屋子范围。Okay, I carry out the food offering right at the second floor balcony, but the balcony, there's a 50 meters distance from the fence. So when I throw out the water and rice, the food still lands in the area of the house. Is this okay? Or do I need to go outside and throw it outside the fence? So as long as you do it, it's outside your house, that's fine. No matter how far it goes, as long as they don't come inside the house, that's okay. So the protection is for the home, the house itself. As long as they don't come inside the house, that's fine. Next question. Supplementing a previous question, if I'm only using water, it's not convenient to sprinkle rice or biscuit crumbs. Is it okay? if it's only 7 grains of rice, will that be inconvenient? Or even a few biscuit crumbs, no one will notice the biscuit crumbs from the 15th floor of my apartment. The birds will go and eat it. Don't worry about the rice grains and biscuit crumbs will stay there permanently. The birds will go and eat it. It's okay. And the water will, the cup, I only fill it halfway. The rice will evaporate in the sun. There won't be any water left.
好，感恩上师的回答。莲花图真助教问：请问是否可以使用供过佛菩萨的米及水
Dharma
做
assistant to
施
Chant
食，
asks,
还是
can
要
we
用
use
新的供品
water and rice that has been offered to the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas to do the food offering, right?
可以供养鬼神众。
If you have offered to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, yes, you can offer it to ghosts and spirits. So it's like we offer to our Guru, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Dharmapalas, rice, water, alcohol. We need to eat a little bit of it to attain yogic union with our yidams, with the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. So you can offer it in sequence from the top to the bottom, so from the highest beings to the lowest beings. However, food items that have been offered to ghosts and spirits, you cannot offer to Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and also to monastics, because monastics are cultivating purity. They can't eat items that have been contaminated. They are not able to get rid of it. They might
因为一般人往生以后就是鬼，没有在修行的人
but
跟
people in general, people who don't cultivate, after they pass away, they will become ghosts. So there is not a great difference. So it's okay to give the food to them. But if you have offered the food to
感恩上师
ghosts and spirits, do not offer it to spiritual cultivators, do not offer it to Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, deities. So the sequence needs to be correct.
莲花
Offer it
问
from
请问上
top
师
to
可
bottom,
以
not the
用
other way
金刚
around.
砂做结界吗？
Next question, can we use Vajra sand to do boundary protection?
金刚砂、护摩
Uh,
都可以用来结界。
The items you mentioned, Vajra sand, Homa ash, yes, you can use these to do boundary protection. Just use the fourfold boundary protection. You don't need to walk to that location to place Homa ash or Vajra sand. Of course, if you have, you can add on. It's the best, it's ideal. It's not the best, but I shouldn't say it's the best, but it's better. But the main point is you can do fourfold boundary protection. You can't just place Vajra sand and Homa ash there and think that's boundary protection, because your intention has not performed the boundary protection for your entire house. So before you do the Vajra sound boundary protection, you need to use your mind and visualize the fourfold boundary protection. Then you add on the Vajra sand or it's okay. But you can't just place the Vajra sand and not do the fourfold boundary protection.
感恩上师
Thank you, Master, for your compassionate reply. Next question.
请问上师，
If we
折莲花给自己的冤亲债主或已故亲人，可否
If we fold
加持
paper lotuses for our karmic creditors or deceased ancestors and then add on the 7 grains of rice
这
inside,
个跟师傅无关哦，这个只是你给他准备的贡品而已。
this is not entirely related. This is an
这
item
个法会的时候有莲花
during Dharma ceremonies. There are joss paper items, there are paper lotuses, all of that is offering items,
没有用你的
but
这个
there
气
is
跟咒，或者
you are not
是
using the food transformation mantra. There is no Amrita mantra blessing the rice. So it's just general offerings.
不是跟这一堂
If
课
it's not related to this
先
lesson,
不回答
we will not reply these
是
lessons.
在回答修法
This
师
is
的问
not
题
this is not answering questions.
神看一下哈，
好，
Please filter the questions a little bit. They should be related to the
感恩上师的
lesson, today's
回答
lesson.
那我们再看一看有没有其他的问题。
因为会回答不完啊。
because the questions will be
然后再去那
unending.
个师尊
You
只问
should
我答那里去问。
you should ask questions for the
那
you ask I answer segment of Grandmaster's Dharma discourses.
那这是莲花王恩台湾老宗师兄问的，请问上师可以用此百字明咒长咒一遍来做结界吗？谢谢您。
Can we use the long 100-syllable mantra to do boundary protection? 100-syllable mantra is not for boundary protection. It's to to make up for any deficiencies in the practice. So the most basic boundary protection is the fourfold boundary protection. Thank you, Master.
那还有莲花剑清师兄问，请问上师
If it's inconvenient to light incense at home,
还能做
can we still do the food offering right?
谢谢。
可以啊。
Yes, Grandmaster, when he does food offering, I don't think he lights incense, so I think it's possible. It shouldn't be a problem.
好，感恩上师的慈悲解答。
Okay, thank you, Master Lian Wei, for your compassionate response or replies. I'm sure everyone has learned a lot from today's class, and I'm sure you can carry out the food offering right in accord with the Dharma better. And let's type in 888 to thank Master Lian Wei for her lesson and teaching and answering all these questions.
那现在呢，我们就来到
And now
拍大合照的时间。
and now it's time to take the group photo. Please turn on your video camera
我们请后台帮我们
and let's invite
那我
the backhand team
我们双手合
to help.
十、
So place your palms together, count down from 10,
八、
9,
七、
8,
六、
7,
五、
6,
四、
5,
三、
4,
二、
3,
一。
2,
好，
1.
谢谢大家。
Thank you
我们再次感
everyone.
谢
And
两位
let's
上
thank
师，
Master
我们也
Lian
感
Wei
谢
for
今
her
天的
class
翻译团
and
队
also
翻译
thank
员
the
连安法师、英文
interpreters,
翻译员
Dharma
莲花师尊
assistant
助
Tu
教
Cheng
后台义工
on
以
the
及世界
Indonesian
各地共
interpretation
同
channel
参与
and
的同门
all
善信，愿大
volunteers
家
helping
法
out
喜充
behind
满，
the
道
scenes
心
and
增
all
长。
students
我们
taking
下周
taking part
同
in the
一时
lesson.
间佛
And
教
we
法
will
拜再见，阿弥
resume
陀佛。
the course next week at the
打开
same
您的
time.
语
And you
音
can
跟
turn on your
上师
microphones to
道
say
谢。
goodbye to Master Lian Wei.
谢谢上师。
Thank you, Master Lian
能开
Wei.
吗？
谢谢上师。
感恩上师，
谢谢上师，
谢谢
阿弥陀
感恩
佛。
上师，感恩上师的分享。
谢谢您的授课，阿弥陀佛。
是上师，
谢谢上师，
满满
谢谢加持，谢谢加持，
谢谢上师的授课。
谢谢加持，
感恩莲尾上师，
加持，
谢谢莲尾上师，
加持，谢谢加
谢谢
持。
莲尾上师，
拜拜。
拜拜，
拜
拜
谢谢
拜，
莲尾上师，
拜拜，下周见。
周见，谢谢。
拜，下周见。
大家再见，下周见了。
莲德法师再见。
好，
谢谢上
阿弥陀佛，拜
拜
拜，再见。
见，拜拜。
拜拜。
各位上司拜拜，大家拜
上
拜。
师再见，上师再见。
两位上师拜拜，感恩两位上师精彩授课。
好，
上
谢谢。
师好，下个礼拜见。
好，下个礼拜见。连端啊，
那个后置观已经写在上面了。
OK， 好，老钟师兄、彩珍哈、姿荣，大家晚安，好，拜拜。
拜拜，
晚安哈。好。
好，拜拜。